And we're live. I pressed record and Maddie ran away.
My water bottle fell.
Oh, that's a valid reason to get up. This will be coming out on May 1st. So that's really exciting that by the time this comes out, it'll be May. I'm so ready for May. It is still like not even mid April yet as we record today. And it is a gloomy day here.
Yes, but we're in a seasonal change, and it's always, like, such a great part because the days that are really, really nice, like, are extra bright and nice, and you can really soak in that feeling, and spring is,
Mhm.
like, the best season, in my opinion, because it's,
Yeah.
like, the rebirth, it's change, it's people are kinda coming out of their winter shell. You see people walking down the street on those nice days after work. It's just, like, a nice change of pace and a nice vibe after a long Midwest winter.
It for sure is, but I feel like I'm not 100% out of that seasonal depression yet because I just need it to be here. So, that kinda goes along with what we're talking about today, actually.
It does. It really
This
does.
will help. We will leave this conversation so light and airy and ready to embrace all the little things in life, I hope.
Yes, as much
Yes,
as we can.
as much as we can right now.
Yeah.
So, welcome back to Wait, You're Mad.
I'm Maddie.
And I'm Lexie. And before we get into the topic today, Maddie, why don't you tell everyone why we're mad today?
This week, we're kind of mad about how hard it can be to feel joy. Why does it feel so difficult sometimes to just enjoy your life in the present moment as it's happening? It's not always easy, especially this week. It's been a really, really heavy one for the both of us. And we've been reminded that life can be really hard. And sometimes just getting through the day can be enough. But I think that's also why this feels important to talk about.
Yeah, if you can find even one small piece of whimsy, one tiny moment that feels like lighter, it really matters right now, which is exactly why we're saying this. Everyone needs to take a load off and be just a little silly because life can be deep and complicated and heartbreaking, but that doesn't mean every single moment has to carry all of that weight.
I think sometimes people are so afraid to get embarrassed and when they're being silly or spreading joy, but that what's actually embarrassing, I think, is acting like you're above enjoying your own life. So today we're talking about how to loosen up, find little pockets of joy, and be a little more whimsical in the middle of everything.
If you're scrolling on any sort of social media right now, chances of you scrolling past a reel that talks about romanticizing your life is very high. And actually, Maddie is the one that brought it up to me, and then now I'm seeing it everywhere, and I can't miss it.
Yes, and I think there's another one that's kind of going around right now that says, and some of y'all need whimsy. And I think you can kind of intertwine both of those phrases or terms, romanticizing your life, adding whimsy. And I think it's such an interesting concept because as times sometimes can feel heavy and you get like bored in the monotonous of the day to day, you can choose to sit in that and kind of go through the motions, or you can choose to be a little romantic.
Absolutely. And I think when people hear romanticizing your life, it sounds a little cringy or unrealistic, but I think it's not about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring the hard parts. It's about finding those small moments and feeling lighter and more enjoyable and adding like personality and intention to your everyday life.
I agree. Are there any things like in your daily routine that you intentionally make better than it needs to be or it has a reputation of being?
Yeah, so I do have things, but I wanted to kick things off with I was scrolling along and I found this TikToker. Um, Hold on, I have her name here. I need to find it. There's this TikToker I found, and her name is Mackenzie Smith. And I thought it was really interesting because it was kind of like a how to romanticize your life, walking you through the steps. And Maddie, I knew you'd resonate with this so much, and you might have already heard it too. But she said the first step to kind of like identifying what you're already romanticizing and areas you could improve is to first of all, like really know yourself. And she suggested taking personality types like Maddie, for instance, you're always asking me what my Enneagram sign is, Myers Briggs, even astrology, things like that to really get to know yourself. What is yours again?
My Enneagram number is 7. Have you taken it yet?
Yes, we talked about it because I'm a 3 and you said, "Oh, Oprah Winfrey is a 3 as well," which is funny because her and I have the same birthday. So it kinda, like, aligned with, like, astrology as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then using that, you can kind of identify some tasks that you really don't look forward to doing or don't love. And what can you do to make those feel better based on what you enjoy? So going back to like your personality type and things like that. And then making those little tweaks to just like make things lighter and just, or even it just might help you realize what you're already doing and just pay more attention to those things. And when I sat there and thought about what am I doing, I also thought about what I wish I was doing, and we can get into that a little bit later. But what I'm currently doing is I am not a morning person. So even drinking my morning tea, taking the time, and I talked about this in the last episode, I take that time very seriously, whether it's coffee, tea in the morning. I am just relaxing while I do it. I do not want to talk about what we have to do that day. I don't wanna think about anything else. I am solely sitting there with my hot beverage usually and sipping it and relaxing and easing into my day, and that is a huge romanticizer. Is that a word?
A
I'm gonna
romantic
use it
a
for today.
romanticize, like an exercise, a
That
romanticize.
is a big romanticizer for me, is my tea.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny because I was thinking about like the first sip of your morning drink or your morning coffee.
Mhm.
If I, especially if I buy it from somewhere and spend money on it, and I just always intentionally take the first one, like, remember, this is the first sip. It doesn't get better after this. Like, this is the one.
Yes. And that's what it's about is just, like, sitting there and feeling that and really noticing that too. That's a step of romanticizing.
It is. And then also, remember my coffee creamer that I brought up to you?
Yeah. Yes.
I used to like try to be a serious person and like buy like natural coffee creamer. And lately I've been trying to mix it up and I found the most hilarious, delicious coffee creamer of all time. And I sent it to Lexie and you're like, I cannot believe you bought that.
Yeah. It's so it's so on theme, but off theme at the same time for you. But tell them
Yes.
what it is.
So it is a Paris Hilton brand coffee creamer and it's like vanilla with a little chili pepper in it. And it's so good. I love a little bite of chili pepper in whatever it is, like especially something sweet. And it's so good. Guess what the Paris Hilton coffee creamer is called?
Well, that's why so Maddie's, like, explaining it to me while I'm at the store on the phone with her, and I'm looking for it, and Hy-Vee in Dubuque, could you get on board with this? Because Des Moines has it. Anyways, she's describing what the bottle says,
Oh my gosh, hold
what I
on.
should be looking for, and she's like, "Well, it says that's hot."
It's called That's Hot because of the chili pepper. So good.
Amazing.
I can't believe I purchased it. My husband was like, "Did you literally buy that?" It's like Paris Hilton. I'm like, "Yes, I did. I had to try it. It had chili pepper in it. So what if it has Paris Hilton's face on it?" And every time I open the fridge, I'm greeted by Paris.
No, we love her, and honestly, she's a genius. She is.
So listen to this. This is what the coffee creamer said. I never noticed it till this morning, and I sent it to Lexi. It said, "Hey, Creamer Nation, don't be boring. Slive your best life with sweet, creamy flavor plus a teensy kick of heat. Seriously epic. Paris, XOXO."
Just a little motivational message from Pear Pear in the morning.
Yes, slive your best life. What does slive mean? SLIV.
I don't know. I thought it maybe was a pun with the the name of the coffee. What brand is it?
I'm not sure. I think it's like international delight. But I've been hearing the word sliving, or
Oh,
you know what I mean? I think the word sliving means something. Let me look this up.
well, I am 35 now, so I'm not always in the know.
So, okay, so slangdictionary.com, it pretty much means the slang slay mixed with living. So it means to do something spectacularly well, like living well. So killing it, sliving. Okay, new word, slaying and
Nice.
living mixed together. Who knew? Thanks, Paris.
Well, now I do. And I don't think it will ever naturally come out of my mouth, but it's good to know.
No, but leave it to Paris to come up with all of the new slang terms, even for us millennials as we get
Yeah.
older into
Praise
our
Hilton.
middle age. Is that?
It's like Paris Hilton, but it's Praise Hilton.
hmm Love. So
All
yeah.
hail the queen.
And again, like that like goes back to like the piece that's like, is it cringe? It's embarrassing. I mean, I'm not embarrassed, but you could be. I was felt a little funny putting it on the conveyor belt at the grocery store, wondering what
Yeah.
that person would think. But then also like that's something to romanticize as well. Like waiting for them to smirk and like instead of being embarrassed, be like, hell yeah. You see that coffee creamer? I'm buying it.
Yeah. Did everyone watching the camera just watch me wipe away the grease spots off of my face that were shining in the camera? I literally, sorry. I'm romanticizing my skin right now.
What do you mean? It's like a dewy glow. You don't want
Yeah.
to look dry. You want to look dewy.
It's just so like it's so rainy and humid right now. It's impossible. But should we just stay on the theme of romanticizing in the morning? Are there other ways you romanticize first thing in the morning?
I'm trying to think. In the morning, actually, there's one thing that I do. So, like, the last thing I do before I leave the house or leave my closet before I go downstairs to go to work, I choose my daily perfume. And depending on the season or what kind of day I'm going to have, I have different perfumes for different vibes. And so I intentionally choose that perfume for the day. And, like, it might be Coco Chanel Mademoiselle if it's like, okay, I have like office meetings or whatever. Or it might be like Glossier You if it's like a little more casual, a little more. So it just depends on the day. Something more vanilla
Yeah.
some days, something more smoky for like winter time.
For sure. That is so true about you is like a lot of people just have one signature smell that they wear all the time, but Maddie has a nice little like area in her closet that has like several perfumes that all kind of like they're all cohesive but different at the same time and you do switch it up and that is fun. You get to wake up and decide what you're going to smell like that day. Everyone
Yeah.
already knows what I'm going to smell like.
Well, it's fun to choose, and I do mix them up quite a bit too. So it could be like a custom built perfume for the day too. So
Hell yeah. I love it.
yeah.
That's
Otherwise,
great.
like I think when I do choose an outfit, I do try to add like one accessory, whether it's like a fun earring or something of color, a scarf, just add a little bit something to like put a pep in my step or
Mhm.
have somebody notice it or I love a little bit of dopamine dressing.
For sure. I love that. I think I could call out like my kind of like my self-care regimen in this area too, and I wanna get better about romanticizing it, but as of late, I have been just trying to, like, give myself extra time to, like, really pamper myself during it, so I obviously have, like, skincare, like, face masks, I've been mouth taping at night, so that's something I put on at night, but it's something I had to rip off in the morning. And, by the way, that is a game changer. Mouth taping, Maddie, have you tried it yet?
Yes, I think I told you about it. And I've given my Aunt Carolyn some because I didn't love it. I felt like I was sore the next day, which probably means it was working or probably means that I probably need it. But I wasn't into it because I felt like I couldn't breathe well. I don't know. Something about it felt
Yeah, I
constricting to
get the
me.
ones with the slits, so, like, if I wake up in the middle of the night, I can still, like, drink water and things like that, and it made me feel a little less claustrophobic. The first night, I had an adjustment, but I sleep so much better. My mouth isn't completely dried out in the morning anymore, and I do feel like it's, like, helped with, not that I have, like, a double chin, but, like, from sleeping with your mouth open, it like, your muscles start to relax there, so it's kind of, like, tightened it up a little bit, as
Yeah.
far as, like, you can without cosmetically doing anything about that.
Yes.
But that's a great one. But I've also added a vibration plate to my morning routine.
I did
Uh,
too. Did we even talk about this? I got
I
one
don't think
last
we
week.
have. I when I was on vacation, I just hit the final wall of like, okay, I am so inflamed. I need to make changes, and I went on Amazon and I got a vibration plate. It was waiting for me when I got home, and there have been very few days since then that I have missed the opportunity to just stand for 10 minutes on the vibration plate. And sometimes it is, like, hard to just stay still for 10 minutes. However, it does make me feel so good afterwards. It, like, starts the blood flow, really wakes me up, like, it my joints feel better. How about you? What's your experience with it?
So it's only been like about a week, but I also feel the same thing. I feel like like the lymphatic drainage piece of it is really,
Mhm.
really helpful. And it just gets my body moving in the morning before I go to work and before I do like my face and makeup and stuff. And I think it's helped a lot, just like waking you up. And it helps you like get a little stretch in, move, and wake you up. I agree with that 100%.
Yes, I even tried the lymphatic drainage drops with it just because I was, like, that desperate to make a change, and I don't think those work. I don't think they're doing anything extra for me. But, yeah, I tried to, like, just take my time with it, not rush through it, be intentional with it, feel like I'm pampering myself versus, I have to do all of this every morning, you know? And, lastly, drinking more water. I am finally invested in a Walla water bottle, and I have to say, the hype is real. They're
Really?
Yes. I
Okay,
find
what
them
about it? Because I'm like a straw person. Straws get me to really drink water more, and so
Yeah,
that's my fear with the is it
there's a
Owala?
Maddie, there's a straw in it.
Okay. Oh, okay, so it's got the one that, like,
So,
kind of
it's, like, built in. So, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a straw part or you can chug, but the way it's, like, ventilated, like, I've never had such ease drinking out of a straw before. It's, like, effortless. I feel like also when you get to be our age, you start worrying about, like, the lines you get from sucking on straws, and it's not like that. It honestly, like, I'm chugging these things unintentionally because of how easy the flow is. And I
Nice.
finally found an all black one at Target, and all of them are so, like, bright and different color combinations and stuff, and I just really identified with this, and I was like, "Ugh, $35 is cheap, and I love it." I'm drinking so much water since I got it.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah, so
Um,
it helped me
the
romanticize, so investing sometimes is romanticizing.
Yes, I think, okay, be careful though, because I've gotten water bottles that had straws or like it would shut like that, and I brought it on a plane, and I think I've told you this. When I opened the water bottle
Yeah,
on the plane, it like spewed
shot.
everywhere all over the person next to me, like so much water. I felt so bad. Everybody was soaked by me, including myself. So,
That's a fair call out. I can't say that I ever when I bring water bottles with me when I'm traveling, I usually don't fill them up before I get on the plane. I usually grab, like, a bottled water from, like, one of the convenience areas because I just, like, am so grossed out by bacteria in airports that I leave my bottle, like, away.
oh my gosh, we have like right when you get off the plane in the Des Moines airport, or right when you get out of security, there's like this water bottle fill upper thing, like they have at yoga studios and stuff in
Yeah,
the gym. So I felt my water bottle immediately. That's like the first, it's like my routine. The first thing I do is that. So I can't
that's
imagine just
funny.
like buying a water there.
I do, I do. I usually buy some Lifesaver gummies and a water and bring it on the plane. That's kind of my ritual. That's how I romanticize my flight.
No, seriously though, I told you how I romanticize my flight. It's always like bringing a little snack, getting my headphones on,
Mhm.
downloading some good shows, and then trying to have fun and really get into the show along the way instead of like hating the travel the whole time. That's
Right.
made life easier. And like you can choose to like dislike the travel and hate sitting there, which I've been there, I've done it, and I've been like, okay, I'm choosing to like try to enjoy this instead.
Yes, I've started to bring books with me when I fly too, which was something I never used to do. I always used to download shows and stuff, but I think taking a nice break from screen time when you're flying, there's something therapeutic about that too. It's reading like a tangible book.
Yes, but I fall asleep in 1 second
Nothing
every
wrong with that.
time. Every time.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Otherwise, like day to day, I think going to bed, I have to wear a matching set of pajamas every single night. If I'm traveling, if I'm at home, like at this point, I can't wear sweats and like a long sleeve anything with like a drawstring or it feels constricting. Now I have like a routine where I put on my matching PJs and I sleep so much better. And they're usually like silky feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, Maddie has some fun PJ sets. They're
They're
pretty
I need to
funky.
find some new ones because I've had them forever.
That's the great thing about pajama sets, though. They last forever, so they're a great thing to invest in. And like you spend what, over half of your life sleeping? Something like that. So feel good while you do it. I do have a few, and you can tell when I'm like feeling myself. That's when I just randomly decide to put them on. I'm not super consistent. So I love that you just do that every night. Why not?
Now it's just a habit.
Yeah, for sure. So, speaking of things that we don't like to do and we can try to romanticize them, what are a couple of things, or maybe what's one big thing that you can identify that you want to try to romanticize going forward that you're currently not?
I don't know. Oh, this is just like a small, weird little one that I am just coming up with. But I want to bring back good dinner toasts. Like, you know, those people that can just flawlessly say something off the top of their head that just
Yep.
sounds amazing and really brings the vibe up. Like, where are those people all the time? We need more of those. So maybe I'll try to have some toasts ready to go.
Okay. Yeah. Like the type of person that when they get done talking, you got your glass in your hand for dinner, you're like, "Here, here. Cheers."
Cheers.
Yeah.
May
And
your
then
ups
you
and downs
dive into
be
the
only in the
food.
bedroom.
Jesus. But yeah, that's a good one.
What's yours?
Um, mine is definitely cleaning. Like, I am a very good, like, I'm good at picking up and like putting things away, except for laundry, but we can talk about that later. Um, But, however, I hate, like, deep cleaning, and that's something that I wanna try to romanticize, and I think the biggest thing for me the thing I do is when I can't, like, romanticize in a specific way, a way to always level up what you're doing is put on music.
Mhm.
And so I do currently do that, but I think that I need to romanticize in the way that I'm like, I just like deserve a clean and calm space to be in. And you want to, when you relax, you just want to like feel like there's nothing around you that you have to do. So I need to, maybe it's more of the mindset for me, but definitely deep cleaning is an area that I could work on romanticizing a little bit more.
Okay, one weird way, like one example I have that I'm a weirdo, like washing windows. I will always like make a shape or a drawing in it, like as I'm like washing the
Aw, you're so
windows.
cute.
Or
That's
like
adorable.
if I pass like a dirty car and I know whose car it is, I will always 100% of the time draw like a little heart or a smiley face or a peace sign and like write a little thing on it
Mhm.
just to make that little dirty thing kind of cute.
Yeah, you're not like one of those assholes that writes "wash me" with, like, a penis under it. You, like, do something sweet and
No,
cute.
it's gotta be appropriate. Like, who knows who's gonna, like, pass you and see it? Like, that could be
Yeah,
like, "Oh, look at that. That's cute."
yeah. That's a good call. See,
And, like,
you we
painting. What if you paint your walls? Like, have you ever, like, painted, like, a funny, like, word or, like, something before you paint the wall in the paint color?
yeah, sometimes because I usually like to test it out a little bit. So,
Mhm.
that's a good call out too. See, we have great ideas. So, are you ready to play a little game?
I am.
Okay, so we're gonna play a little game called Romanticize It, where we're gonna take daily tasks that people hate and try to figure out a way to romanticize it. It's pretty straightforward. So we did ask some people, we wanted to hear from others what their tasks were, and we're gonna take a stab at romanticizing it. So we do have a few here that we're gonna pull from.
Okay, so what's a task that you absolutely dread doing? Emily Glanz said, 1,000,000% figuring out what is for supper the rest of my life. May I point out, she said the word supper, which is such a Midwesternism. And it like, my ears go off. My ears like ding when I hear the word supper, and I recognize it
Upper.
every time someone says it.
I didn't even realize that she said that until you said that, and that is not a word that comes out of my mouth.
So how would you romanticize it?
This one is hard, and this is a duty. Especially, I have to point out that Emily has 3 kids and a husband that she's also picking out supper, I quote, for. So, I feel like you have to romanticize it. Like we already discussed a little bit about the grocery list. Make the list fun. Maybe like Maddie suggested, get some nice paper, a nice pen, handwrite it, like really pick all the meals and make a nice organized list. That probably sounds terrible for someone like Emily. So I hope we have more advice than this.
What about what you could do is you could have like a theme night every night to at least like be
Ooh,
a guideline, like meatless Mondays, taco Tuesdays. I don't know what Wednesday could be, but at least you could
yes.
have like a guideline, but then also your family could have so much fun with it and they could maybe help you come up with ideas as well.
Yes.
That would be what I would do if I had like a family to make dinner for.
I was gonna say, yeah, have everyone take a different night of the week, and obviously, as a mother, you have liberties. They can say what they want, and you can adjust a little bit, but yeah, make them take some of that off of your plate. No
Yes,
pun intended.
and maybe Thursday's like girl dinner Thursday for yourself. Or we used to do grab and growl. Have you heard of do you know what grab and growl is?
No.
Okay, so it's when you just everybody in the whole house has to just eat whatever's in the fridge. Everybody fends for themselves. So you like grab and then growl, I guess. That's what the old
Like,
saying is.
grunt, like, "Ugh."
Well, grab and
Yeah.
growl, like you're keeping it to yourself. Like who's gonna
Oh,
grab like the good thing, I think. Like that's what comes up in my head, at
okay.
least. I don't know if this is where it came from, but this is like
So
my
you're, like,
grandparents always said
possessive of
this.
what's left, like, "I got dibs on this because everything else blows."
Yes. So my
Okay.
grandparents always said that, like, "Oh, we'll just grab and growl for dinner tonight." Yeah,
Cute.
grab and growl.
My parents would always just make, like, a giant feast of what's left, and you'd take a little bit of everything, you know?
Yes. And so we do that sometimes when we're like, "You know what? I don't have a lot of energy to think about this. Just figure something out."
Yeah, but one meal you don't have to plan is Sunday brunch, Emily. Those are for the girls.
Those are for the girls.
Those are for the girls.
Do males brunch together?
Mm,
They
they might
should.
have, like, 10 o'clock tea times together where they drink Bloody Marys, and that's their version of brunch.
So true. So true. But yeah, maybe give your I think, Emily, maybe give your week some creative direction and help make those decisions easier, but also it helps your family, like, maybe want to, like, add their input into.
Yeah. Maddie, I love your creativity. That was great. Let's find our next one.
Okay, next up, we have Lindsay. She says she dreads pumping gas and folding socks during laundry and scraping my windows in the winter.
It was funny because she kept sending me more and more, and then she kept following up with, "But I think men should do it anyways." So her solution was, "A man should pump your gas. A man should scrape your car." I don't know about men matching and folding socks, but, JC always needs a way to entertain herself. Make it like a memory matching game for her to
Mhm.
find the pair and teach her how to fold it, and I think she would get really into that.
Yeah, if you make it a game or something like that, like some story or game.
Yes. I don't know what to do about pumping gas and scraping windshields,
Okay,
windchills.
scraping windows, no idea. I'm just going to not focus on that one. Pumping
They do
gas,
have the scrapers that have the mitten around them, and I will say that is a game changer, but no matter what, it just sucks.
and then pumping gas, I actually have learned I used to, like, hate rolling up to the gas station and dreading it, and I think we all do, right? Like, it's one of those things that's like, "Okay, we can put this off till tomorrow." But if you do it, like, when you're, like, busy and overwhelmed, it's actually especially, like, you're a mom, it's one of the only times no one, like, expects anything from you. So, like, make that your time to catch up on social or something, like, while you're sitting in your car, while it's
Mhm.
pumping. I don't know. I mean, you can make it a little moment of me time or go in and
Yes,
grab like a coffee from the gas station or a little gas station treat.
for sure. You don't always have to stand at the pump and be miserable. Go in your car, take a little me time, or yeah, I love going into a gas station and getting a treat.
Me too.
Great job, Maddie. I think it's safe to say you're better at this than me. Moving on to Christina Miller, emptying the dishwasher. Absolutely. I, like, get
Mm.
some enjoyment out of loading a dishwasher and seeing how I can make everything fit. Like, if someone else did the dishwasher before me and there's more to go in, I, like, can't help but rearrange what they already put in there.
Really?
Yeah. Um, but putting them away is the real chore. I agree.
Yeah, I don't this is hard for me because this is one of those, chores I just don't mind that much. Like,
Mhm.
if I'm rushing around and I'm busy, it does take a minute to do, so I get annoyed by that, but, like, I love having everything restocked, so I just relish in, like, the moment of having every fork, every spoon is clean, it's ready to go. We're not pulling out old dirty forks out of the dishwasher and, like, washing it by hand. We've all had to do that before.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is where I really rely on music. I'm, like, bumping music, and you have a little movement to it, a little swagger because you're, like, dancing to the music while you're putting stuff away, just kinda spinning away from
Mhm.
the, dishwasher. So that's what I do. And I think knowing Christina, she is a very organized person, but I think to make it minimal effort, you have to have organization already applied to your cabinets so that everything has a place to go to. I think that's when it gets rough for me where I'm like, this isn't I have no more room in my Tupperware drawer for more
Mhm.
Tupperware. What do I do with this?
Oh my gosh, you know what my grandparents did? They had this funny little and some people have these, like, these funny little stickers or magnets on their dishwasher that's, like, dirty, and it's like a pig rolling in mud, and then you switch it over to clean once it's clean.
Yeah.
I think that is, like, some way to add something funny to it.
Mhm. It's true. We had that at our corporate office, like, in the break room kitchen area.
Yes, love that. And you could find, like,
Mhm.
a really funny one that's
Yeah.
like, "Okay, this makes it cute."
Yep. I feel like if we skip down to Emily Childers, she has a similar one. She said, "I hate washing pots and pans. Have ever since I was a little girl. Nothing pisses me off more than having to make dinner, but the pan you need has to be washed first." That is so relatable.
It is. Um, I am a wash the pan the minute you're done with it kind of person. Like, I can barely sit down to eat if the pan is not washed yet. I'm crazy, and I know that's not normal, but yeah, I
Otherwise, it's really hard to remove the stuff. I don't wash it right away, but I do, like, soak it right after I
Mhm.
use it. So I can see where Emily's coming from, where you're like, "Shit, I need that pan," but it currently has sudsy, dirty fucking water sitting in it because I was
Mhm.
trying to eliminate an issue later, and now here I am.
Yeah, or sometimes, like, if Kurt has just made something and I need the pan to wash his pan out, I get where she's coming from. It is
Mhm.
annoying.
I do like maybe it is romanticizing. I am very much a person that while I'm cooking or baking or whatever, I'm like cleaning up immediately so that
Mhm.
I can truly sit down and relax during my dinner. So maybe
Mhm.
it is one of those types of adjustments. But
Yep. And again, put on, like, a TV show that you really like to watch or music. We'll always revert back to that, like,
yes,
scrub to the beat.
what I
Mm.
love is my Alexa Echo Show that I got for Christmas that, like, is, like, 12 inches, I can watch Netflix on it, and that has been a game changer for, like, cooking and cleaning up and things like that too. When you can put on a show in the kitchen,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's a game changer.
I put the first thing we did when we moved into our house is I need a kitchen TV or
Mhm.
this is not gonna work. A
Or
kitchen
I'm out.
TV will solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, it's so true, and not every like, the amount of people that still don't have a TV in their kitchen isn't unreal.
What are you
You guys don't
doing?
know what you're missing out on.
Yes. We watch Jeopardy every day as we make dinner. It's like a routine, and it makes it
Oh.
fun and not so, like it's, like, active, and you're thinking, and
Yeah,
it's
and
fun.
you're saying the answers out to each other, and it's
Yeah.
interactive, and that is totally romanticizing.
I
I
guess it
love it.
is. Yeah.
Damn.
Gotta have fun along the way.
Mhm.
Megan said, switching out clothes for seasons, adults and kids. It's a chore, and I never remember what clothes I have or I don't.
Even as someone that doesn't have a husband and 2 little girls, I forget what my summer clothes are all the time. I have to try them on and make sure they still fit every year, like,
Mhm.
all the things.
I actually kind of started doing this last weekend when I had a moment, and it was like I have a storage box that I put some summer stuff in. It was like opening a time capsule. It was like, "Oh, wait, this is what I wore all last year during this time," because it was kind of hot some days, and I was like, "What the hell did I wear all last summer to work?" Because I was not wearing these sweaters I'm wearing every single day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a little reset, like new season, new energy, and then also gives you an excuse to go out and get what you need if you do want to go shopping and get some new stuff.
Mhm. Yes, so maybe it's getting in the mindset of, "What a nice surprise," but also, "Whatever I get rid of, I get to go shopping and replace."
Hmm. I love that.
But
Yeah.
also music will cure everything.
Okay, and last but not least, Lexi's brother. This is something he would say.
Yeah. You
Lexi
guys
asked
met
your
him last week, kind of.
yes, I forgot about that. Lexi's brother Justin said a task that he dreads doing is answering all your dumb questions for your podcast.
Which I respond with something I would expect coming from a certified hater, and he did not respond. So,
Oh my god.
okay, how can we get Jay through this like unbearable task of engaging in our podcast?
I think he needs to remember that look at this great relationship I have with my sister. She's reaching out to me because my opinion matters and she cares about it. And this is somewhere that someone's going to hear this or laugh or feel seen because of something you said. So, what a fun thing to be asked to do.
Also, if I continue down this path, everyone is going to think I'm an asshole. And we don't want that, do we? And not to mention that he still owes me for that curly fry incident, so
Yeah, romanticize it up a little bit, bud.
yeah, you could use it. I know you won't tune in, but you should and apply it to your everyday life. Those were good ones.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. I love solving everyone's problems for them.
Now I want to take a second to talk about some of the funniest comments that I saw of how people practice reintroducing whimsy into their life. Are you ready?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Laura said, when I peel a fruit, I always ask first, "Excuse me, sir, can I take your jacket?"
Wow. I wonder what the fruit responds with.
I think it is, yeah, silently saying, "Yes, eat me."
And then they're screaming because we're literally peeling off a layer of their skin.
Another weird one I loved was from Gina. Personally, I've grown to enjoy telling my pets which one of them is in charge before I leave the house.
I love that.
Me
Well,
too. It makes leaving your
Bro's
pets so much more happier, happy.
Bro's always in charge of this household, so that goes without saying, but
But you could let him know. Give him the
yeah.
little, you know.
I don't think he needs any more boosting his noggin, his ego.
Well, then maybe you could say like, "Hey, bro, make sure you take care of Benj."
Hey, bro, why don't you actually be a nice good boy when I leave? Share the area, share the food, share the water bowl, please.
Caring is caring. Maybe that's what you say when you leave.
That's my I love that. Will apply.
Another one from L. Honestly, I decided to get an arch nemesis about 6 months ago, and things have really looked up since then. I'm trying to imagine like what this means. Like you just have this like evil glare from like this arch nemesis, or you like do things to like in spite of them, kind of thing.
Huh. Yeah. Like they're fueling you through
Yes,
everything kind of thing. Like it's in spite of them.
yes, but like in a
That's
fun way.
motivation.
It could even be like a celebrity or like a fake person. I feel like it doesn't have to be a
Mhm.
real person.
I love it.
Ooh, this is something that I do. Alicia said, "I love mispronouncing things wrong on purpose just to be silly, like pronouncing the K in knife."
Oh, you mean like the tequila incident?
Yes.
We had a whole bit And Maddie and I can talk about bits. We actually have this thing. Maddie is really strong about a bit, and I 100% agree. Just just give in to the bit, you know?
Commit to the bit. There's nothing worse than when someone's like cuts you off at a fun bit and goes, okay, okay, too far or something. And it's like,
Yeah.
hey, we could have kept going. This was really, really good banter. Like this whole thing
Yeah.
we just made up that we were both in this world in our heads was so fun.
80% of Maddie and my conversations are a bit. I
Hmm.
actually that's what one of my old coworkers who is now just like a friend now, we had really good banter too, and I remember one of our other coworkers chimed in one time saying, "You guys are like a bad SNL skit."
That's a compliment of the highest regard.
Yeah, we still bring it up and we loved it. We were like, so like, "Oh, thank you
Yes,
for
like,
commit to the
have
bit."
fun.
Yeah,
It's if you overthink it, sometimes it can get a little cringy, but, like, in the moment, and you're just in, like, what do they call that? Flow state. You're in flow
yes,
state with someone else, and you're just giving and receiving this energy back and forth. There's
yeah.
something so fun about a bit. Don't kill the bit. Don't be the first one to kill the bit.
For instance, one time we had a bit going when we were out for Sunday Fun Day with our friend Cliff, and we decided to all continually go up to the bartender and order different forms of tequila, but intentionally say it wrong. And every time we filmed it, we look at the camera and be like, I love tequila. And then we turn to the bartender and go, Can I get a Don Julio?
Can I have a horny toes?
Can I have a Patron?
A Jose Curvo?
It was great. We might have to post those sometime, actually. I kind of forgot those existed.
Yes, and, like, just doing shit like that is fun.
Yes. Romanticizing our Sunday bender. That was great. We were so far ahead of this trend.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was.
But yeah, always looking for people to commit to the bit.
Commit to the bit. Hashtag.
Dude, one other thing I wanted to bring up is I love people who have bumper stickers, like really funny ones. I respect those people so hardcore because they make sitting in traffic so much more fun.
Mhm.
So
That's true.
thank you to all of you silly people with the fun bumper stickers. I've been looking for the perfect one. I have not found one yet, but I'm committing to finding one for my car.
I remember years ago, the first time I saw this one, which they're everywhere now, but I loved it, and I was like, "I actually would consider having that one," was "Tell your dog hi for me." That was great.
One I see often that I love is Hot Girls Hit Curbs. It's a
Yeah.
good one.
I'm just a girl.
Yeah, there's some good ones. Or like I've seen a couple that are like just a silly goose, or if you have one that's like honk if you whatever. Oh my gosh, do you know what the honk if you whatever means? Hold on, let me
Yeah.
look this up. I thought it meant something different forever. If it says like honk if you like pizza, what it actually means is like, how do I say this? What is it? Okay, so if someone has like a bumper sticker that says honk if you like pizza, what does that mean?
So, is it them saying, like, "If you honk at me because I did something wrong," in my head, I'm telling myself it's because you like pizza?
Yes, I always
Like,
thought
I'm
it
a
was
bad
just
driver, but I'm not letting you, like, bring me down.
I always thought that it meant, like, literally, like, honk if you like pizza.
I never put thought into it until right now, but just from the way you set it up, I was able to grasp the concept.
Like, if you
Yeah,
do something wrong, you're honking because you like pizza, not because I'm crappy
yeah.
driver.
And probably up until this point, I was always like, "Well, I don't love pizza that much, so I will not be honking for you."
So you can be like, "Hey, yeah, you like yeah, great. It adds a
Yeah.
little
Like,
whimsy."
"Me too. We are so much alike. Friends.
That's so
Friends."
funny. Yeah. I
That
I
is
I
funny.
forgot about that, but I found that out, like, a couple weeks ago. That was a great time to bring that up. I'm glad that came up.
Ah, I'm glad that came up too. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I just had one other weird little thing, but we don't even have to talk about it. I wanted to say, maybe I'll edit it out or not, but do you have like a perfect signature that you've really nailed down when you sign documents?
No. Maddie, I think I've talked about this before where I hate my handwriting. I think I was supposed to be left-handed, and my parents screwed me out of a future of having great handwriting. I can draw kind of, but I just think left-handed would have been way better. So I'm not proud of my handwriting, but I love your handwriting. So continue.
I just asked if you have a signature. I think some people's, when you see like this beautiful signature, it's so whimsical and beautiful. I think that's a way to add whimsy. Or like, what about email signatures? Do you love, have you ever seen, and it's usually kind of like an older demographic where they have like a fun quote on their email signature?
Yeah. Yeah, it actually makes me mad because 'cause I'm like the brand police, and so I'm, like, the one being like, "Okay, stay to the template, guys," and there's always these people that add so much to it. They go over the top, but it is funny.
It's cute and it like softens their emails a little bit when things can kind
Yeah.
of be a little monotone or come off a little harsh via
Mhm.
email because of all the periods. When people have like a fun little thing, it's like, oh, this person's probably pretty nice and whimsical and fun. Like, all
Yeah.
right.
I love it. I just had one pop into my head just now, because I currently have some action going on. But for my birthday, Emily Childers got me a little clear birdhouse to put wherever I wanted. And this is my office. And I actually put it on the window right in front of me. I'm on the second story. And you guys, my bird house or bird feeder is fucking always popping. It's so litty. There's all these different birds fighting over it all the time, and it truly has brought so much joy to my work days because I have it set up perfectly. When I look through my monitors, it's the window and it's the bird feeder. And I love looking at the birds, just like enjoying their life there.
That is such a good one. Do you have
Yes.
return customers?
What?
Do you have return customers that you recognize or do they kind of all look similar?
Yeah, no, I do. The very first one there was a red cardinal, and he was like huge with the biggest orangest beak. And he came like immediately when I put it up, which Emily said that's weird. Usually it takes them like a couple weeks or so to like start trusting it and actually coming to it. And so I like to think it's gnarly because he fucking loves food and he's such a big cardinal. And yeah, the fact that he trusted it so soon because they say those red
Oh,
cardinals are like your loved ones visiting you. So
I
I'm
love
always just
that.
like, "Damn it, Gnarly, stop eating all the food."
See, that's romanticizing that.
Yeah, I
It's
love
so
it.
funny.
It was such a good gift that I just didn't even know I would be so in love with, and
Mhm.
I do. I love it. I have to fill it up all the time because it's just like they love it so much too.
Yeah.
And speaking of the windows, like, opening windows in general is another big romanticizer for me, but that got
Mhm.
me thinking, shout out again to Emily Childers. Windows down, vibes up. I love romanticizing road trips. I am such a road tripper. Put the windows down, feel the air, get all the snacks. For my trip to Arizona, I made like a snackle box and had all like the best arraignment. Uh, is that a word?
Arrangement.
Array of food
Oh,
is what I
alright.
meant to say. Arraignment of food. And I love a good road trip. I just like settle in and I feel so content. And I think maybe this does go back to my personality type a little bit that I love moments where I'm like forced to slow down and just be present. And road trips are one of those things where you're like stuck in this car for a certain amount of time and you're not going anywhere. And I find comfort in that.
Yes. I think I brought this up before, and I went to, like, a breath work workshop, and the teacher said, you know, "When you're doing mundane tasks, you can choose to live in the moment or just, hate like, dislike it the whole time or kinda slump around, or you can make it a vibe. You can choose to sit up straight and enjoy it and be present and make it a thing." And I think that's what all of these situations kinda come back to is what mindset are you choosing? And we can't do it for everything. I don't wanna
Yeah.
be like,
Let's be
Pollyanna.
realistic. And let's
Mhm.
let's have a quick note on like how social media really does like glamorize real life situations and you should take it with a grain of salt and let's be realistic about it. You can't do it for everything. But I think you're
Mhm.
right. It's just about like noticing what's already there and appreciating what's already there versus,
Mhm.
dreading things and having a negative mindset about it.
Yes, and making every day a special occasion because we are
Mhm.
so lucky to be here and we can make every day a little special, even in a small way,
Agreed. Yes, I love it.
because YOLO.
'Cause YOLO. Oh my gosh. And right now, that saying means so much more than it
Mhm.
did even a couple weeks ago. So, also want to give a shout out to anyone that's going through anything right now.
Mhm.
Just know that people are there and everyone cares about you and you have someone to always talk to, and please take advantage of that.
Yes, good call. It's our community was hit with a couple difficult situations this past week, and so we're thinking of all of you. And
Mhm.
instead of like isolating and being apart, I think it's important to come together and you know, even if you don't have to show up high vibe, right? Like,
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of the opposite of what we're talking about here. But also, if you are looking to make things a little bit more high vibe, this is a positive, somewhere to be a little bit positive when we're not
right.
always feeling positive.
Yes, as we said at the beginning, hopefully by the end of this, you do feel a little bit lighter.
Yes. So, not everything has to be meaningful, but it also doesn't have to be boring or mundane. And sometimes it's just about making the middle of your week and routines in the middle of your day just a little bit less forgettable.
Yeah, and we want to hear from you guys. What are fun ways you add a little bit of fun into your day? Comment on the episode or tag us on Instagram, add us on TikTok. We truly want to hear from you.
Yes. So, we're going to head out. Thanks for hanging with us. Tune
Yeah.
in for new episodes every Friday.
And follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Wait You're Mad.
Bye.
Goodbye.